You're watching Twin Tiers Sunday with Renata Stiehl.
Hello and welcome to Twin Tiers Sunday. I'm Renata Stiehl with WENY HD News, and this week we're talking about an agency in the Southern Tier that helps a lot of people in our community, AIM Independent Living Center, which is based in Corning. Also have an office in Elmira. We're going to talk about some new developments with that office as well. But I'm joined this week by Charlotte Smith and Ronna Johnson with AIM, so I want to thank both of you for coming on the show this week. It's been a while since AIM has been on the show, so I'm glad to have you back on. And for people who are not familiar with AIM Independent Living Center, Charlotte, just fill us and give us some background information on the agency.
Yeah, absolutely, and thank you for having us. We are always appreciative of any time that we can be able to, talk about AIM and share who we are. And who we are is a nonprofit organization. We serve all persons of all ages and all disabilities. We're different than other agencies that serve disabilities in that we're non-residential. We really believe in the person just being integrated into the community. And just having a normal life, as normal as they can. We realize there are some challenges that they face, but we're grassroots. We're going on 34 years now in the area. So, and we have the other thing that's different too is we have no economic qualifications. And you don't have to be just a person with disabilities. We serve a lot of families, friends, businesses. We've done a lot of trainings, which is really, really nice. We work with the airport and the Chamber of Commerce's and doing disability awareness trainings, etiquette trainings, especially now, a lot of the topics have been TBI, autism. So we really work with community leaders and businesses to kind of help them. We're finding out that we're getting calls where some people in the workforce maybe are dealing with an issue at home, and businesses are like, well, we're starting to kind of see it creep into, to the workload, and so we're there to help them. We can work with EAP services. We can even be an EAP service.
Okay. And now you mentioned you've been around for 34, almost 35 years. How did AIM get started? Because there's quite a story here.
There is, and it was based out of a movement in Berkeley, California area, the whole movement of just really integrating persons with disabilities into the community. We got our start from Joyce Lubold, who had a son who was a paraplegic. And it was wonderful because she was like, you know what? He was getting turned away from some services, and she wanted to fight for him. She wanted to make sure that he was able to get a lot of the same things that other people were offered. And if he wasn't, how are we going to make it different? I mean, they're people. So it's really people first. And that, I think, is kind of one of the mottos that we've really been trying to focus on, is that it's people first.
And you mentioned that you help people with all disabilities, and you mentioned that that person was a paraplegic. So it's not necessarily just people with developmental disabilities. They could have physical disabilities as well.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, physical, cognitive, any of them. We really do a wide range of programs and services. And we also do a lot of information and referral. We don't have a problem with saying, maybe AIM can't help you, but we work with a lot of area agencies and we're part of an independent living center. New York State has a New York State Independent Living Centers. So we have a wide range of partnerships and collaborations. So if we can't help you, we will find someone who can.
And now you mentioned that you really are a group that acts on behalf of people with disabilities. And I know that there is the Americans with Disabilities Act that puts protections in place, but it seems that a lot of people are still kind of running into some roadblocks, maybe some discrimination, and they don't really know where to turn or what questions to ask to get the help that they need.
Yeah, and that's a really good point. And we're by no means the ADA police, but we've had a lot of businesses that have contacted us, and they'll say, do you mind having somebody come in and just kind of assess our business? Maybe there's a curb cut they need or an automatic door. So we'll send advocates. We even send some of our consumers and board members, to kind of that business to take a look, and we can offer. We had a great meeting with a local college a few months back, and they were kind of curious to know, maybe we need to look at this as we're doing renovations. So a lot of good information came out of it.
And so that's something as a business owner you may not think about, but there's simple steps that you may be able to take and input that AIM can give to make their business, their workplace more say, just handicap accessible or easier to maneuver for people who are disabled?
Yeah, absolutely. And sometimes it's just a matter of some simple things. You know, lowering the height of a table or removing a chair or making sure that doorways are clear. Sometimes it's just little simple things, but, you know, maybe something we don't necessarily always think about. But once you point those out, and they don't have to always be an expensive, you know, an expensive quick fix.
Little things that you and I may take for granted, but other people, you know, it can be a hindrance for them.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And now you are a nonprofit organization, so where does most of your funding come from?
We have a lot of great contracts. We have federal funding, state funding, private and public foundations. We also get public support. Right now it's RFP season, so we've got a ton of RFPs that we're responding to. A lot of the great
Quick, what are RFPs?
RFPs, requests for funding proposals.
Okay.
Yeah, so a lot of grants that we're going for, and public support too. We're actually going to launch a public appeal this October as it's National Disability Awareness Month. So we're going to do a nice public appeal in October. So yeah, anytime anybody wants to send us money, just we'll take it.
Okay. And now, since you are also a nonprofit, do you depend on a lot of volunteers in your programs and services?
Yeah, we've got a good core base of volunteers. A lot of them are consumers, a lot of them are business people. United Way, we have them come lots of times for the Day of Caring and things like that. So yeah, we love to have volunteers because they're a great way not only to get our message out, but to really get kind of a first-hand look of what we do. And our staff is so super busy that volunteers help us out tremendous, you know, with mailings and everything.
Okay. And now there's other facets to AIM we're going to talk about in the next segment, including some of their waiver programs, and that's where Rana comes in. She's going to fill us in about those. So please stick around to learn more about AIM Independent Living Center in our next segment of Twin Tier Sunday.
Twin Tier Sunday will return in a moment.
And welcome back to Twin Tier Sunday. I'm Renata Stiehl, and this week we are learning about AIM Independent Living Center based in Corning. We just learned about the history of AIM, the people in the community that they serve, and now they also have a couple of waiver programs. And joining me here also, aside from Charlotte Smith, is Rana Johnson, who's the Director of Waiver Services and Nursing for AIM. And so, Rana, thank you so much for being here today and talking more about these programs. But first, let me learn a little bit about you and your role with AIM.
I've been with AIM approximately 2 years. I'm a nurse professionally, and I worked for the Chemung County Health Department, and prior to that I worked for ARNET for 10 years. So I came to AIM in hopes of, we're pursuing possibly opening a licensed home care agency, and in the meantime I've transitioned into the waiver services because those are kind of similar with the healthcare field.
And now a couple of the waiver programs that AIM has is traumatic brain injury waiver, or more, I guess, some of the lingo in the field is TBIs, which a lot of people end up dealing with. We're talking off camera during the break, whether you are in a bad car accident or you had a stroke or maybe, you know, even a fall, and end up with what is, I guess, medically considered a traumatic brain injury. And part of AIM's role is the whole crux of that is independent living, and so that's really the goal here with some of these programs. So Rana, explain how the traumatic brain injury waiver works.
Well, basically one of the eligibility requirements is, like you said, that you have to be diagnosed with a traumatic brain injury, whether it be by an accident or something, a stroke, physiological. So with that program, anyone between the ages of 18 and 64 are eligible, but they also have to be eligible for Medicaid, for the standard Medicaid. And that's how the waiver services work. If you're eligible for Medicaid, these two programs are offsets, they're waivers from the Medicaid program. So if you're between the ages of 18 and 64 and you've been diagnosed with a traumatic brain injury, that would make you eligible for this program. And AIM, our agency provides service coordination and independent living skills training for those individuals. If you're interested in the program, we are contracted through our regional resource development centers in Binghamton. The organization is called STIC, Southern Tier Independent Center. So if you're interested in participating in the program, you could either call the Binghamton office or you could call our office for more information.
Okay, and now is there, you mentioned that you have to qualify for Medicaid, but is there, other than that, are there any economic eligibilities or guidelines that you need to fall under?
If you qualify for the standard Medicaid, and even we do have some persons on the program, if you want to have a spin down, and those are the people who are over the general standard of Medicaid, but if you want to pay into the system to receive the services, that also applies to those. And those are really the only eligibility requirements, is that you have to be between the ages of 18 and 64 for the TBI, and you have to be eligible for the Medicaid.
Okay, and now another waiver program is the Nursing Home Transition and Diversion Program. Let's learn a little bit about that program as well.
That program is for individuals 18 through 64. If you're 18 and 64 and you're either scored where you might require nursing home services, or if you're over the age of 65, if you're 18 and 64, you have to have a documented disability. If you're over 65, then you're eligible for the program. And once again, you do have to be Medicaid eligible for this program also. And this program is specifically to help either keep people in the community from going into a nursing home, or those individuals who are in nursing homes can transition out of the nursing home and come back in the community with the services that the waiver program provides.
Okay, and again, it's all about keeping people independent and self-reliant as much as they can be, but really to keep them out of these sort of, I don't know if the word institutionalized is too harsh of a word, but keep them, out of places where...
In the community, where they choose to be.
Exactly,
some
yes.
people choose to remain in a nursing home.
Absolutely.
So we don't, I like that you say that. We don't want to call it an institution, because some people choose to remain in the nursing home, other people choose to come out. And both programs are about the consumer's choice. They have the right to choose what's best for them. And that's one thing that the waiver program emphasizes, is just like us, we have the risk to try something and fail, and then we revamp. So we want to make sure that everyone has that opportunity to try and fail and take a risk.
And not everybody knows maybe that they have that option. And so how do you get the word out about these programs to reach people who may qualify for one of these waivers?
Well, I know our home office in Binghamton, they do a lot of outreach because they cover 12 regions in New York State. Our agency, we cover 6 counties, and we are very active in the community. AIM is active, and every time we go somewhere, we're talking about all the services that AIM provides. And as far as our program itself, we try to make sure we connect with the discharge planners and the nursing homes, so they'll know that we're out there available to assist.
Absolutely, trying to keep all your bases covered so you get that information out to as many people as possible.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, when we come back, we're going to continue talking about AIM, and their base is in Corning, but they also have an office in Elmira. There's some changes coming to that office, so we're going to talk about that. And any other information, make sure we get the word out about how you can contact AIM if you have any questions, or maybe you would like to help out in some way. So we'll learn more about that in our final segment of Twin Tier Sunday.
Twin Tier Sunday will return in a moment.
welcome back. I'm talking with Rana and Charlotte from AIM Independent Living Center. And now we learned about the waiver programs. We learned about all the people in the community that you serve. But we also talked about where you're located. And you said your home base is in Corning.
Yes.
But you also have an Elmira office. But first, let's learn where in Corning is your main office.
So our headquarters is 271 East 1st Street. So we're next to the Alternative School for Math and Science. And then we also, and I should mention too, we have other outreach offices. We have an outreach office in Bath. It's actually in the Pro Action building.
Okay.
We opened up last year in Schuyler County, at the Schuyler County building in Montour Falls. So we have an outreach office there. That one's by appointment only. But we also have another outreach office in Hornell by appointment only on Sawyer Street. And then we have another outreach office by appointment only right now in Belmont.
Okay.
So we're kind of situated, you know, around the southern tier area. Our main focus is Chemung, Schuyler, and Steuben. However, like Rana said, we are in 6 counties. So we're really kind of all over the place. But our Elmira office, which right now is located at 1316 College Avenue, we've kind of just, I don't want to say we've outgrown the space. It's a wonderful space, but we were really kind of looking to see where we can really best meet the needs of our consumers and a lot of our partners. So we're actually going to be moving to the EOP building, the Economic Opportunity Program building on 650 Baldwin Ave. We will officially be in there on July 2nd. And we're really excited because we were there several years ago, and you know, the opportunity came for us to be able to be back there, and they've been very gracious and welcoming. They're happy to have us back, and we're happy to be back.
And now the Economic Opportunity Program, of course, helps people in our community. So, Rana, this really seems like this move is going to be a good fit for AIM.
I think so. And I know I've heard that EOP is excited to have us back in the building because a lot of our services do integrate with each other. And it'd be nice for the consumers, for the public. It's like a one-stop shop instead of having to go to different locations to find services. So I think this is perfect.
And now it seems like AIM really does work with a lot of different agencies out there, EOP being just one of them.
Yeah, we really do. And we're always looking for new partnerships too, which is great to see that organizations such as AIM and EOP and others, that we're really out there just to serve the community. And that's, you know, we're grassroots and a lot of them are, so it's really a win-win for us.
And now for people, maybe they've joined the program just at this point and they're wondering, you know, I wonder if I or a family member might qualify for some of these programs, or maybe I just have questions for a family member, or, you know, some concerns about accessibility or other options. Charlotte, how do they get in touch with AIM? Like, what's the best way to get in contact?
The best way, we have a toll-free number, and it's 1-888-962-8244. And if they call that toll-free number, I mean, we can connect them with any of our outreach offices, any of our advocates, staff members, and we do get a lot of phone calls where someone just calls up and says, you know, I have a question, not sure if you can help me, but here's the situation. So I really think that, yeah, if they call the toll-free number, we'll be able to assist them and direct them to where they need to be.
Okay, and you also have a, I'm sorry?
I was going to say we also have the website.
Yes, I was going to say you also have a website, and I know that you're on social media.
Yes,
as
yeah,
well.
we have a Facebook page as well, and we post a lot of different events, you know, peer support groups. We talk about the waiver program and a lot of other ones. So yeah, so our website, which is www.aimcil.com. We've got all of our programs and services on there, as well as the contact information for all our offices. And then, of course, you can also pull up our Facebook page, and we also have an event calendar that's on there as well, too.
And now you did mention that you have some, you know, you're going to do your public appeal coming up, and you've got some fundraising programs. But if someone's like, you know, this sounds like a really great organization, how can I get involved, whether it's to make a donation or maybe, you know, maybe my services can be used in some way to help the people that you serve. If someone wants to get involved with AIM, how should they do that?
Well, they can call our toll-free number, and they can actually ask for me because I can direct them. I also kind of serve as volunteer coordinator too, so I can definitely give them all the information that they need. Or they can just stop in. They can actually stop into the Elmira office and the courting office, and someone will definitely be able to, to help them and let them know what we have available. We have a lot of great resources. We have different kind of brochure racks that not only have stuff about AIM, but a lot of our community agencies too.
Okay, and maybe, I don't know if you know the answer to this off the top of your head, but do you know how many consumers in the county region that you cover that we serve?
We serve about 2,000 a year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we serve about 2,000 a year. And actually, we're seeing that number growing, too, just because we have a lot of just regular people and businesses calling up for information and referral.
And again, if you own a business and you just, have some questions, how can I make my business more accessible, more open to people who may either have a physical or developmental disability or whatever it may be? Again, you can help them out or point them in the right direction so that they can have someone come in and take a look and maybe suggest some changes.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, we do trainings too. So if they want us to come in and do a type of etiquette training or just an awareness, we are more than willing to do that. And we also offer some services too that for nominal cost. We do Braille. We have a Braille machine.
Great.
So we had a restaurant who actually needed a Braille copy of their menu brailled, and we can do that for them. So sometimes, it's something that people don't always think, but just that little touch that can really make something a lot easier and more accessible.
Yeah, and just one more way that you can advocate for people with disabilities and those that are in need.
Absolutely.
And now again, AIM, the website, www.aimcil.com. And Charlotte, can you give me that 800 number one more time?
Yes, it's 1-888-962-8244.
Okay, well, Charlotte and Ron, I want to thank you so much for coming on the show and teaching me about AIM and teaching our viewers. I hope you took something away from today's episode about the different programs and services and how they can help you or your loved ones or family members. Again, thank you for joining us for Twin Tier Sunday. We hope you have a wonderful day.